the Panthers, taking the nation. A prototype for a new generation. It's what you face with Cam Newton as the quarterback. Tom Brady and the others, they don't want none of that. That Superman with the shoulder pads. Best believe he's the best in the league, the best that you have. Now watch the kid go and dab on him. Spread his wings out, run around the field while they grab on him. The league's freaking out, they try to blast on him. Do a flip in the end zone, rap on him. They toss the kid a football while he pose on him. Superman shirt off, he plays on him.
Yo, what's up, Panther fans? It's your boy, the Professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn, and this is C3 Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. You're listening to Panthers Ball by Max Arsenals, featuring Ant B. You can check out that tune on YouTube's. Man, we're glad. I'm happy to be here and to see my boy, that freaking Puerto Rican, back in effect. Joe, welcome back to the podcast, and welcome back.
Tony, it is such a pleasure to be back. I have missed this so much. I've been keeping up, watching, but just not being here, not being able to participate and being on the show, it's such a real pleasure to be back. I want to thank everyone for their prayers and well wishes, and I'll let you guys know that I'm feeling better. I'm almost back to 100%, and it is my privilege and my honor to be back with you two.
Well done. And now for him to dab on him. That's right. There he is, Mel Mayock.
What's happening, Professor?
Man, I'm glad to see you. I know you've been busy.
Yeah, lots going on in my world, man. But let me just say, I am super pumped about being here tonight because Tuesday night, every week of the year, this is the only Panther show anywhere that's 365 days or 52 weeks a year, bringing it from a Panthers perspective to all the Panther fans out there where you can interact with us. It's my favorite night of the week. I'm super pumped. But, man, I got to tell you, nothing has me more excited than having one of the best people I know, the freaking Puerto Rican, back in action. Definitely the toughest person I know.
I know. The three amigos are back in action, and we're going to have a great show for you guys tonight to kick it off. We've got a special guest coming on at 10:30. U Stadium's CEO for U Stadium, Jets fan and longtime friend Frankie Vittorini. He's going to talk Quentin Copels with us because he's been dealing with the Carolina kid for a while, and now, like last year when we had him on to talk Stephen Hill coming from the Jets, now he can talk about Quentin Copels. We also got big news in free agency, and that's why tonight's show is episode 16.4, the free agency clearance blowout sale, I think I said it was going to be. It begins tomorrow where the whole free agency frenzy starts. We're going to be talking about that. You can get in on that conversation using the hashtag C3. Go ahead and tweet the show. You can also participate on YouTube in the chat box, and I'll try to get to that as much as possible. And if you're listening later, hey, give us a share. We could use the support. Joey, Mel, I think we should just go ahead and jump right on in.
Jump in.
Austria. Good day, mate.
I'm just getting warmed up.
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
All right. This is C3. What's hot? Guys, it's free agency. Charles Johnson back with the Carolina Panthers. He went and visited the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and with the New York Giants. Turns out he's going to stay at home. Gave us, I don't know if he gave us a hometown discount or he took a hometown discount. Mel, tell us about what's going on with Charles Johnson.
Well, you know what, I have to be so proud of this moment as a franchise. This is the type of thing that happens to great franchises when people want to play here. I think we might talk about it in a little while, but there's a couple other big name free agents that listed the Panthers as places they wanted to go play so that they could have a shot at a ring. Man, we've always wanted that. But big money Charles Johnson, who's been a big part of this team for a long time, been a team captain multiple years, he was offered $6 million reportedly by other teams. I'm not sure if that was the Giants or the Bucks, but one of those teams offered him $6 million. He's coming back to the Panthers for $3 million. And here's a quote from Charles Johnson. He says, "It's not about the money. Carolina is home, and I wouldn't have been happy if I went somewhere else." Man, you'd love to hear that. You want players that want to play here, and they're not just cashing a check.
Joey, how do you feel about that?
I think that's fantastic. You said it, Mel. That is what we're looking for as an organization. We want people to want to come here because of what we are as a team, not because they're going to get paid the most, but because they're going to have a chance to be a part of something special. And that's what we have going in Carolina. We're building something special. And Big Money saw that. You know, he's a Georgia product, so he went to University of Georgia. Charlotte's not that far from Georgia, so he's close to home. And, you know, he spent his whole career here. We paid him well, deservedly so, because he had earned the money. And we made a business decision, released him, you know, with you know, all the best wishes. And lo and behold, he's sort of, I don't want to say, gave us a little something back, but he's back because of who we are. And Jared Allen said it. I think it was last week that, you know, this team, this locker room is like a cliche because of how there is no drama. And to be able to be a part of something where there's no drama and still have all these big personalities, that really says something about our coaching staff and our management.
Heck yeah, and let me say, was it not your fear? It was my fear that the Atlanta hometown kid was going to go back and play for the Falcons. That would have sucked. You know, that's kind of.
You know, first of all, I'm not trying to diminish CJ as a player, but I am going to say this: he's not the same threat he used to be.
No, but you don't want to see somebody who's been a pillar, a cornerstone, and a captain of your team go play for those dirty turds.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't think he would have done that.
I'm glad.
Well, we know he's not now, at least.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think also what I'm happy about with this, or what I would not have been scared, because somebody said the same thing about seeing him twice a year when he was in Tampa, and how that would be. And I think that on our right tackles do a little bit better with guys that play Charles Johnson's game, which is kind of a power, finesse, take your time game, rather than, I think we struggle with the speed is where we struggle on the right tackle side. So I don't think he has. Let me ask you this though: is he really? How important of a signing was this? Because Lynn, Legacy Line on Twitter said, I believe she said earlier, DJ, Dave Gettleman super savvy, CJ super smart to come back. I agree with that totally. Great guy in the locker room and as a leader, good for our rookies. How good of he? How important is he, or how much is he going to contribute, or is that enough?
Well, to me, what I'm looking at, the one fear I had is you got the possibility of a lot of experience walking out of the locker room. Jared Allen gone, Charles Johnson perhaps at the time gone, those types of things. You know, so I think it's more important in the locker room and in the practice sessions and the continuity than it is on the field, actually. So I think it's a big signing. But it's not, you know, he's not going to be a better player next year than he was this year, and he was just a good player this year when he was healthy. He wasn't great, you know, so we can't expect him to come in and get 10, 12 sacks next year. But he's going to be that level-headed, experienced guy that's going to bring along our young guys.
Joey, is he really that big of a deal for our locker room?
I think Mel said it, you know, to put it all in one word, you said continuity. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it is. He's gonna make sure that these young guys that we draft and the guys that we may acquire are gonna learn how to do things the Panther way. And that's what you want. You want guys to know how to do things the Panther way, how to prepare, how to practice, how to take care of themselves, how to make sure that there's no drama going on in their lives outside of football. because that's what we don't want. We don't want the distractions that you see all these other teams having.
Yep.
We like it nice and quiet where our guys can focus on the game.
That's exactly why the Kraken is out of here. Steve Smith's out of here.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's what we're going. That's why his value is in the continuity, not on the field, but just what he brings overall.
A lot of people are happy to see the, CJ coming back. I agree. I think we're a better team with him. And what I just want to stress is I think that having him on this team is a great thing. I think, like you said, continuity, kind of that work ethic that behind the scenes that sets the tone. And you can't go but so young. I mean, you can't believe that Coney Ely is going to be able to carry the torch off just because of the Super Bowl game.
Right.
I don't believe that he showed enough yet. What I'm just saying is that I think we need Charles Johnson plus.
Oh yeah, man.
And I don't think that position is shored up as of yet. What do you think?
Well, you have always said that you don't think a rookie defensive end is going to come in and make an impact year one, right? I mean, you've said that multiple times.
I believe that firmly.
Well, I did an article that didn't quite make the What's Hot on C3 segment, but
we're not done yet.
Oh, okay, all right. But I have an article out there about the 3 free agents that I want, and one of them is Ayers out of the Giants. Man,
okay, tell us about him. Tell us about this guy.
Well, Robert Ayers, he's 6'3", 275. So he's about the same size as Charles Johnson. He's a lot younger, and he put up 9.5 sacks, I believe, last year. Just a solid guy that played well opposite of JPP last year. I think we could probably get him for $7-8 million a year. He's not going to come real cheap, but he's not going to be extremely expensive, right? So I think that'll be a good, solid signing if we could get him. We need more help. If we don't get him, we better get Copels or Long out of the Rams, somebody. Because I think you're right. I think it would be smart to draft a rookie, but he's not going to be the dominant force that can start week one in the first year.
I mean, look at Ely. Look at Ely. He's been a rotation guy.
Yeah.
Joey, what do you think about
That's what we need. We need to bring in more bodies. We lost Edwards. Hopefully we'll re-sign Love. I think we did.
We did.
Did we?
Nice. If we haven't, we need to. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really just a matter of rotation. These guys can't play the whole game, so you're going to have to keep rotating them in and out. And if you're only 3 or 4 deep at that position, I mean, on the defensive line as a whole, that's not deep enough. You really need 6 guys that you can rotate all along the defensive front.
Lynn's asking this, Joe. Copels or Ayers? Which one is better? And I think I think that Ayers is the better player right now.
I just responded to her and said he's the more proven one for sure.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. But what I think is that he's going to command significant amount of money.
Right. Well, Copels could be had maybe a little cheaper and surprise.
Wouldn't you say Copels is more of the Dave Gettleman style of?
I agree. I think so.
That's more of a move for Gettleman,
yeah. Somebody who maybe was played out of position. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why they weren't great, and their value is lower. Get him at a lower cost, put him in the right situation, coach him up, and see the dividends come in.
You know what Copels is? Copels is Tastios. And what I mean is that he's got the pedigree because he's really made by Cheerios and it's just put in a different box.
Mm-hmm.
But they just use a little less sugar and they don't have the fancy packaging right now. It's the same cereal. Like Copels, you're right. That's the kind of guy that Gettleman wants to get. He wants to get a guy that everybody else thinks washed up and that he can put in the right system.
So why didn't we get him? We had him in the building. He took a physical. Why do you think we haven't signed him yet?
All right, couple of things. Some people said that he could be fat. Others have said don't worry about it because we did the same thing with Michael Orr last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Copels isn't the one that wants to make a hasty sign.
Could
Maybe.
be. Could be.
All right.
He's a
All right.
Carolina guy too, so I mean I think that's something that works in our favor. You know, he played college football in this area, so
Okay, let's keep going. I think that Jericho Cotchery will not be back with the team this next year. They have decided, they have informed him that they will not be bringing him back. I don't think that's a big surprise.
No, I agree. Now, hey, longtime follower and first-time fantasy football champ, SC Susan, puts out there, she says that our coaches do work magic, and our MO is to bring them in and to make them better. Coleman is a great example.
Well, how about this? We just signed Stephen Hill to a 1-year deal.
right. We signed Stephen Hill, which I think shows that they really believe in this kid.
Yes, this
They
is the
really
third time they've kept up with
see
him.
something in him. He must be such a physical freak, man, because they keep bringing him back, and you know all you've heard about is how terrible route runner, terrible hands, you know all this awful stuff, but they keep bringing him back. He must be. They gotta believe. I mean, they really have to believe.
And they said he's really gotten better at his route running and things like that. And you know, he tore the ACL last year. I think they had high hopes for him, and Prohl really sings his praises. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so who else? Free agency's going to hit. I guess what the biggest name out there that Mel wants, and I'm surprised he didn't put it in. Did you not put it in your article? And the top 3 free agents was Weddle.
I put him as honorable mention because I really didn't.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, well, it's low-hanging fruit, but also I think Weddle is going to get $10 million from the Raiders, and we're not going to pay a safety $10 million.
And he's not worth it, frankly.
Oh, he's a heck of a player, man. He's an all-pro.
I know. I mean, he's 32 years old though.
Yeah, and he's had injury problems, right?
Yeah. So if the Raiders give him $10 million, like they've been prone to do, they always get that big safety.
They have way more money than they could ever possibly spend. They have to spend money.
So So I think he ends up there. But he has come out and expressed he wants to play for a Super Bowl contender in the 2 teams that he is salivating to play for, the Panthers or the Patriots.
There's somebody else that said he would like to play for the Panthers, and that is Antonio Cromartie.
Grab your women, fellas. Hide them.
Yeah, that's right. Grab your daughters, man, because you don't want to have grandchildren tomorrow. 9 months from now.
But
Joe, go ahead.
From an X and O standpoint, man, put him opposite Josh Norman with Kurt Coleman and maybe Weddle in the middle. Oh my goodness, you're talking about a serious upgrade in talent.
All right, you can't have both.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, say you could have one. Who makes a bigger impact on this team?
Weddle.
Really?
I gotta say Cromartie, and
I'm with you, Joey.
I only say that
because we don't have a corner. We don't have a corner.
Right, the corner we do have, and that's Sticky Wicky. He has been told that he'll have the opportunity to play outside, but I truly, truly believe his best position is at nickel. And somebody like Cromartie could come in and play on the outside, sort of like Peanut did this year, where he came in and, you know, kind of filled the gap. He really, you know, he was hurt a bunch, but he filled the gap and helped the team stay true to form, where Sticky Wicky could be his best in the nickel.
But have y'all seen Weddle play when he's fully healthy and at his best? That guy's an animal. You put
is
him
he
with
strong safety, or is he strong safety, or is he free safety?
He's more of a free safety, but in our system, I really think our safeties are almost interchangeable. You've seen Kurt Coleman come up and lay the wood to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've seen both sides of it. So I think you could play Weddle and Coleman together very effectively.
Jones says, doesn't Weddle play the same position as Coleman? Would you want to move Coleman?
I think you play him with Coleman.
Well, she's saying who plays out. You know what is that we did see Coleman at times a little susceptible in coverage.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if Weddle would be better at it in coverage, and then you could move Coleman to strong safety.
But you certainly
But
could.
I'm with Joey. Is that I think Cromartie would make a bigger difference on our team.
Well, I mean, look, you can't ask for more than what you got from Coleman last year. What did he end up with? 6 picks?
But
Hey,
but I'm not saying
mean,
replace Coleman. I'm saying replace Old Man Harper.
I know. I like what I saw from Boston, and I still think he deserves a shot.
Now, there's an argument I can get behind. I could say it's smarter to sign Cromartie because you want to give Boston the playing time and the room to get that athleticism on the field. That I can buy into. But Cromartie is fading, and when he is, and I think he would be the guy that people would pick on. I mean, I would be almost dissatisfied to bring back who's the guy we had late last year?
Wait, McLean? We had
Yeah,
McLean,
yeah,
and
McLean.
we had the other fighting guy all the time.
Oh, yeah.
McLean, yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy that we got? That was the
Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah.
Finnegan, and again.
Yep. So,
No,
but
I think-
either one of them would be a great pickup, actually. So.
I saw this question on Twitter, Joey. Joan asked, do y'all think Tolbert is going to be re-signed? And I saw on Reddit earlier today, they asked how much would our offense change if we don't reach an agreement with Toldozer. So, Joey, let me ask you those two questions. Will Tolbert come back, and if he doesn't, does it change our offense?
Yes, I think he'll come back because he's been Pro Bowl and I think All-Pro the 2 years that he has been here.
I think that was a little of a gift, though, by just being on a team that was 15-1.
Well, I mean, whatever the case may be, he still did. The award was still given,
Good point.
and I think it would affect our team. Maybe not necessarily have a gigantic impact on the field. I think there would be an impact on the field, but just in the continuity, we go back to that argument: the continuity, the stability. That's where you really lose it. Tolbert's very loose. He seems to be a very amicable guy that all the players, like, that gets along with everyone. So to lose that, you might lose something there.
Yeah. Good point.
I'm going to say no and no. I say it doesn't come back, and I say it doesn't really affect our offense all that much because, all right, how about this? The biggest effect is whoever comes and takes his place may block.
Yeah, I mean,
back up that truck, Toldozer.
You gonna get his mama pissed off again?
No, I mean, I think look, you're right. Is that he has contributed, but it's not like he's a central feature in our offense.
Well, what he does is he adds complexity to our run game. You don't know if he's going to be the guy attempting to block, or if he's actually going to get the ball to run, or he can catch it out of the backfield. So give credit where credit's due. He adds complexity and options to our run game. He is not a traditional blocker. You watch the Super Bowl, and he missed some key blocks that just got Cam Newton crushed. So, you got to get somebody who's a fullback who can catch out of the backfield. Yeah.
Here's a legit question from Lynn. Is Cromartie, is what holds him back? Is he a good fit for the locker room, given his philandering?
Well, here's a good thing. Coach Rivera knows him well. He was out there in San Diego with him for a few years.
That's what I was wondering.
Yep. So he's going to know if he is going to be a good character guy and could actually fit in.
I see. What else is hot and trending right now? Joe. Oh, we've got. You know what? We're gonna save the juicy topic for after, I guess. But we got to talk a little old D'Angelo Williams.
Oh.
And later on,
that might be somebody's Ice Up Sun pick. I don't know.
Not mine. I got a lot of Ice Ups, and Mel is on the top of the board. He could be on the board. Panthers quarterback, wide receiver, special teamer Joe Webb has agreed to a 2-year deal to come back.
Nice. I like it.
The Swiss Army knife.
He is, but do we have to use? All right, so if you have a Swiss Army knife, Joey, and you got how often do you use your toothpick in your Swiss Army knife? You know that little toothpick that sticks in there? That's like a metal. Why do we got to use them so much? I know he does everything, but I don't use my Swiss Army knife a lot.
Maybe you should.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think for it's a value thing, because of how versatile he is. You get to save yourself a little bit of money because you can do so many things. I think that's what it is.
Well, I think it's a security blanket of having that third QB on the roster that should something happen to Cam Newton, you're going to have a backup to Anderson, and you don't have to have somebody.
And you're going to want to bench him pretty soon.
Why is that?
Because he's Derek Anderson.
Well, also, he can run the same style offense that we would with Cam. Because of his
the YouTube chat's not working. Holy crap. I can't find it. I'm getting to it, Shake.
But you know what? Do you know what? It's another thing. He also runs the scout team anytime we're playing a mobile quarterback team.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing that, when we're playing Russell Wilson, he's going to be the guy running the scout team, which is going to help our preparation.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true.
Mel, tell him how to. Mel, will you tell him when you purchase stuff on the internet how you do it before our guest comes on?
Yeah, I actually did it earlier this week, man. Anytime you're buying anything, pretty much, you can go to Amazon and get it. But instead of going to Amazon.com for the same price, just go to Carolina Cat Chronicles. You guys are with us hanging out on Tuesday nights. You're part of the C3 family. Do your shopping to help make this show grow. Go to Amazon or go to CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Go to the shop tab. You'll see the Amazon button there. Just click on that. I actually had to buy a new smoke detector for my house because I put it on the market. I'm selling my house, which is one of the reasons that Tony is thinking about icing me up later. But I had to buy a smoke detector to replace it. Instead of going over to Home Depot and spending an hour doing it, just click right on there, and I had it delivered right to my house. Easy.
Make sure
helps us out just a little bit, and it costs you the same amount of money.
Make sure you bookmark it so you don't have to come. You can just click it, and it will give us credit. All right, we got our special guest on tonight. My buddy, my pal, Frankie.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up,
Anthony? What's up?
Frankie is the CEO of U Stadium.
Frankie in the house.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Panther, is that your name?
I'm a Panther drafter.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I don't think I've met you before. I know Joey and Anthony for a long time.
You can, we call him Mel Mayock because we took Mike Kuiper and Mel Mayock and we smushed them together and made Mel Mayock out of them. But we have our special guest tonight is Frankie Vittorini, CEO of U Stadium. What is going on with you guys in U Stadium these days? I see a lot of it always out there, always in Panther conversations, generating some kind of dust up at times too.
Yeah, man. I've been asking myself that every day. What are we trying to do? No, I'm kidding. No, things have been good, man.
To that. That's the question we ask.
No, man. We've been just promoting, fan-to-fan conversation, man. That's what we do. So whether that's on Twitter, Instagram, on our app, it's always a fan-to-fan thing. And
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, we're building something really cool that I don't want to get into because I don't want to promote me or us too much. But we're doing a really cool feature where fans can create their own feeds soon. So I want to get you guys on there, like running a Panthers feed where everyone can kind of talk about the Panthers and stuff.
Definitely.
So, yeah,
Definitely.
it'll be cool.
Yeah, and feel free to promote you, man. That's why we got you on, man. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, like, I want to promote Anthony on his own. I want to talk about stuff you guys want to talk about, not mine.
Well,
Tony, the The professor needs the help, man. He really.
We're gonna make some chicken cutlets here in a second, but we brought you on because you're the Jets guy, and let me tell you this, Frankie. We get Stephen Hill last year. 2 years ago. We had you on. He kind of sat on the practice squad for a year. Then he had a great camp. He gets injured in camp. And then we also get, we're visiting with now, he was a second-round pick for the Jets. And then we get a visit from Quentin Coples, who was a first-round pick from the Jets. My question to you first off the bat is, should you have just hired RGM Dave Gettleman, and would you guys have still had your second and first-round picks and be 15-1?
No, our owner's not that smart, man. Don't give Woody Johnson too much credit. I want to say though, you guys had one hell of a year, and I can't believe I didn't talk to you much throughout the season. You were probably all amped up, so congratulations, man. You guys had a sick run, and it was really close of doing it all. But your future's really bright, so good stuff on your end, man. That was exciting to see.
It was so intense, Frankie. It was just like a roller coaster the whole time we were working and working and working. Story, show, call in, radio, like all the time. And we tried to sit back and enjoy it. But like you're saying, it was a great run. It ended a lot of disappointment for us. But we brought you on here tonight to talk about Quentin Coples. We got 2 weeks ago, we were on the show talking with one of our writers, Smoke Wagon, and he said, look, Quentin Coples could be a guy that would be a decent fit here. Dave Gettleman-like type, find good pedigree in the background, kind of falling off of the team. The next day he got a visit here in Carolina. We have not signed him. He left going away unsigned, which a lot of people say that means that it's not going to happen. But the same thing happened with Michael Orr last year. He left, and then 12 days later we signed him into free agency. Tell us what happened with Quentin Coples in New York?
Oh man, this could be a long story.
We're ready.
So I know a lot about Quentin just for a couple reasons. One, before he got drafted, I did a lot of film tape on him just because it was rumored that the Jets were going to get him. Then the Jets got him. Nick, the guy I work with at U Stadium, the other co-founder of U Stadium, he was, he built a relationship with Quentin. We had him at some of our events. I met him a few times, so I actually know him personally too. Follow him on Facebook. I'm friendly with him there, so I know Quentin. Quentin needs, and I'll break this down quite simply. Quentin needs to be in 4-3 defense, four defensive linemen front as a D end. That's what he needs to be. If he's in a 3-4 as one of three down linemen as a D end, not going to cut it. He's not. He doesn't have the strength and speed combination to pull that off. He needs to be in a 4-3 as a D end where he has a D tackle right next to him that can take up a lot of the guard movements or potential double team by a guard tackle. Guard can't double team a D end if he's got a D tackle over him. He needs to be soloed up on a tackle as a defensive end in a 4-3. Can't play outside linebacker. He's too slow. And from a schematic standpoint, that's what he needs to play. I mean, if you look at the way he plays, he's a tweener. He makes plays, but it's like he'll slip off of someone if someone falls or someone's not blocking correctly. He's really not that quick, and he's not really that strong leverage-wise. He's so lengthy that it's hard for him to really get leverage because he's so lengthy, and it's tough to really give him a position. I think a 4-3 DN will work wonders for him. Another player that I compare him to, not lengthy but plays like him, is Melvin Ingram from the Chargers. First couple seasons struggled. I didn't like him out of college, but you see him now getting into his own. Can't be isolated on the outside because he's not quick enough. Can he play on the inside? Not really strong enough because of leverage issues.
Kind of the tweener, yeah.
The tweener, yeah, man. It's a tough, real position to place on a team. So I think that's where he fits. Personally speaking, There's issues there for me. I like him because he's a cool guy and he's down to earth and he treats people with respect. I mean, like, I met him and he's really nice. I mean, he's a good guy and he like wants the best and he's a nice guy. He's not one of those guys that thinks who he is. I mean, he'll talk to you and embrace you. So he's got like a good personality about him.
How athletic is he?
I mean, like, he's one of the guys that he'll make a play that you're like, how the hell did he make that play? I mean, I remember against the Saints one game, for the Jets, he had a great game. I mean, he had a couple sacks, and I was at the game too. And he came out of nowhere and made a play, but he was unblocked on those plays. So, I mean, there's like some plays where he'll be unblocked and he's in the open space and something clicks in his head and he'll make a play and you're like, what the hell? Where did that come from? And then you look back at how it happened and he was unblocked and that's kind of how it played out.
Mm-hmm.
So he is athletic, though. He is. He's got speed in certain bursts, but he's slow. It seems like he's a little lazy in how he moves. He's not really.
Is it really because though, like you're saying that you asked him to be something he's not, and that is a 3-4, like an outside linebacker that has those responsibilities at time, but you want him to be a D end most of the time. I mean, he is 295 pounds.
He is.
He is
big.
He's a big dude, and to ask him, to ask a guy like that to have lateral speed, it's one thing to ask a 4-3 defensive end to play the run a little bit and maybe try to get after a screen pass occasionally. It's a different thing to have him standing up with coverage assignments.
Yeah, agreed. And you know what's funny about what you're saying is the same thing happened with Mario Williams and Rex. I mean, this goes back to Rex, in my opinion. Rex Ryan really doesn't know what to do with some of these guys. He wants to stand them up. He wants to put them down. He wants to put them as a D tackle. He doesn't really understand that. And when Rex announced that Quinn was going to get reps as an OLB, an outside linebacker, in their 3-4, 5-2, depending upon what they're running, I knew it was a bet. I mean, we just knew it. I mean, we said, what the hell are you doing? Like, this guy, it's not a good fit for him. So, yeah, and after a while, I mean, a guy's being put in places where he can't make the plays that he's accustomed to making and he doesn't feel like he's contributing like he should, then you have a confidence issue. So I think that all plays a part in what happened with Quentin. I really do. I mean, I think for you guys, he'd be a nice fit. I mean, you guys have some nice defensive tackle pieces, some nice DNs. I mean, I think you could bring him in there. You guys do play a 4-3 primarily, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, so all the time.
All the time, right? Yeah, so you guys would benefit from him, I think, just having him play at a defensive end.
To me, he sounds like he would fit in perfectly here as a rotational guy. Bringing him in the rotation, throw him in, second down, third down, just part of the rotation. He's not going to get, 100% of the snaps. Maybe he sees 30 snaps. Maybe he sees 40 snaps.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's what he should be doing. I don't understand. Even Rex, you're making a perfect point. Like, I don't understand why Rex didn't even try to make him into that kind of player. Towards the end, he did a little bit. He put him in certain situations, but it didn't really seem like he ever felt comfortable there. The other thing with Quentin is he going to be able to personally and upstairs, up here, it's big for him. Is he going to be able to really be disciplined? It worries me. I hate crapping on a guy that you guys are excited about or people are excited about. He needs to tune in. I still see him on Facebook. I don't want to get into personal stuff, but he's still talking about his fraternities in North Carolina and, rah-rah in his frat. Like, dude, get over it, man. College is over. Like, you're a professional football player now. Let's get a little more serious about things. If he can, though, if he gets a good mentor in Carolina, you guys have a winning program. I think if he goes there and he doesn't fit in, he's either going to fit in or he's not. And I think you guys have made people into winners. I think you have guys on your team that people doubted throughout the course of their careers. Cam, Jonathan Stewart at certain times, Michael Orr. Yeah, even defensively. Norman
Coleman.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have pieces that even like a guy like Cortland Finnegan, guys who thought he never could be a winner. I think you guys brought in guys that were questioned by a lot of people and came in and they overachieved. And he'll come in, and I think you'll know within a couple of months or maybe a month of him hanging out with the guys if he's one of those guys that can really be an overachiever.
Right.
Yeah, he's going to come into a place. See, here's the thing is that a guy like him who and maybe it's a little bit of New York that was a problem for both Stephen Hill and Quentin Coples. Not only do you have the big city, the lights, the attention, the criticism, but really it's kind of been a mess until under Rex Ryan. It was a weird situation. It wasn't like your defense was as tough as it is now for the full time under Rex. Right, is that you guys now there's too many defensive linemen. When you drafted Coples, was that the problem?
I mean, when we drafted Coples, we were rebuilding our line a little bit. We on the outside though, like we were looking for some speed guys on the outside that can make some plays because the problem with the Jets has been just having a pure pass rusher. I mean, we've been looking for one since John Abraham. So, Wilkerson's a great asset in that department to get some sacks, but he's more of an inside kind of player. And then, this is before.
Same thing with Leonard Williams. Is it Leonard Williams?
Yeah.
Big cat.
Yeah. He's similar. I mean, it's funny. Sheldon, Leonard Williams, and Wilkerson not Damon Harrison really because he doesn't get sacks, but he's rumored to go to the Titans. And by the way, some stuff's breaking right now that I'm sure you guys have heard, but Doug Martin's staying in Tampa, which is kind of released now, and that's pretty interesting. But with that being said, and Chris Ivory's going to the Jaguars. It's a big rumor.
Oh gosh.
You guys saw that or no?
Yeah,
no,
I saw
I
that. I did see that.
Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, that just kind of a bunch of stuff. I've never seen so many things leak before. Holy crap! It's like today we had Bruce Irvin's announced, Mario Williams, McKelvin, Ivory. I don't know, a bunch of guys.
Where's McKelvin going?
So they're saying McKelvin's going to the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically they have Tuck going back to Giants, Tomba's going back to Chiefs, Malik Jackson Jaguars. Then you guys
big money too. Jackson got big money.
Big, huge. I know. He got over 15 million.
Guaranteed.
It's crazy. I don't know. I like Malik Jackson. I think he needs some pieces though around him to really do his thing.
Yes, I agree.
You guys signed Charles Johnson again, but whatever. We'll stay on topic. Sorry. But yeah, I think Coples is a guy that when we needed to really get someone that could be a pass rushing threat, we went on and got him. Rex went to his personal pro day, and it's famous to Jeff fans because I remember we were all talking about it. It was just Rex just sitting there and watching his pro day and looking at this guy and what he could be, and we wanted a pass rusher, so we were rumored to get Chandler Jones too. So Chandler Jones and Coples was the rumor, or Melvin Ingram. So Jeff fans wanted that, or Deion Jordan. But as the draft process went along, you saw that Deion Jordan was obviously going to be a top 10 pick, and wasn't going to drop to, I think 16 is when we got Coples. So that draft was very interesting, and we ended up getting Coples. And it's funny, Deion Jordan probably ended up being the worst out of that bunch of guys, right?
Yeah, and there were a lot of Carolina Panther fans that wanted Coples here, and actually Coach Rivera went to visit with Coples the night before the draft. So rumors were rampant that he was coming here, but we actually went with Luke Kuechly. Thank goodness.
Oh my! I mean, yeah, right. You couldn't do better than that.
Yeah.
I can't believe Malik Jackson really got that much money. Man, defense. He play. What's his technical position? Is it?
He's DT, right?
Yeah, he got a 6-year deal, $90 million.
$90 million.
You know who loves that signing? Kawan Short.
Yeah.
KK Short just said, "Heck yeah, baby."
What
about Wilkerson? Is he a free agent right now?
Wilkerson's got the franchise tag, so he is. So basically, the Jets have to pay. You guys know the Jets have to pay him a top 5 average salary, and the Jets are rumored to even want to trade him. People are saying because they have the franchise tag. There's nobody else that they apparently would like to franchise, which to me doesn't make sense because we have tons of free agents. We're screwed, man.
What about the quarterback?
I know, and Fitzpatrick's going to be up for. We'll know tomorrow. I mean, like we'll see, or in a few days. I mean, we'll know. I mean, Fitzpatrick. They're saying, what did Bradford get? He got 2 years, 30-something mil, 36, I think, or something, 34. So
we don't like to talk about Bradford on this show just because
he's a rapist.
He is a serial rapist. He's a thief. That guy, good Lord. I mean, this is a swindler. Here, let me ask you about another Jet. We saw someone tweeted Antonio Cromartie and said that he could revive as a Pro Bowler here in Carolina, and then he tweeted back and he said, "I'd love to play on that defense." What Antonio Cromartie? What did he do with the Jets? You guys spent a ton of money on him, and help me out with the top guy, Revis.
Yeah.
What's going on with the guy that with so many with the man of many children?
Yeah, right. He's got he almost has as many interceptions as children. So
the baker's dozen.
That's the quote of the night right there.
Cromartie, Jet fans loved him. I'll be honest.
Really?
They loved him. Yeah, big time. Big fan favorite. Yep, people really liked him. Jet fans really liked him. So I liked him too. What happened to Cromartie, though, is he was at a point in his career where he was making plays, getting fumbles, returning a punt if he needed to, or kickoff, getting interceptions. Last year was the 1 year where he didn't get an interception since 2006, his rookie season. And he was hurt, but he wasn't being I forgot what the word is, but I don't know what the word is, but putting himself in a position to really make plays and find the football. You know, some guys just have a knack for the ball and it just kind of falls in their lap, like Tyrann Mathieu kind of a guy.
Peanut Tillman.
Yeah, Peanut Tillman, perfect. Yeah, like guys like that they just, even Finnegan some points in his career was like that. You know, it's and I think he needs.
They're opportunistic.
Opportunistic. There you go. Took the word exactly right out of my head.
Snatched it.
Yeah, got it. There you go. And it's just Cromartie just wasn't finding his way to the ball anymore. Like he was getting burned. He's a lengthy guy, so it's funny. You know, it's like a theme tonight with Copels being lengthy. First step's a little slow. Cromartie's lengthy. That first juke.
That's what she said.
Oh,
yeah, right. His wife had a vasectomy or something, and she still got pregnant. How the hell is that? So you know he's extra long, right?
Nice.
But
I like it.
But I think he'd be a good fit in Carolina, and you know what? I think he goes there, and if he's good, great. He'll be an extra asset. If he's not, who cares? I mean, you guys are able to kind of work your.
How much money is he going to command at this point juncture? Because you guys paid him a lot.
We did. I think a 1 year. You could do a 1 year $7 million deal with him. Maybe 6.5. He's going to command. He's got the name. He's 31. He's not 34. Not young, but still got if he didn't have. Still had some injury problems, but nothing serious. So. He's going to look for a nice deal. He might want to do something, if a team really likes him, a 2-year 18 or something, 2-year 15 or,
Let's face it. He's got a lot of mouths to feed, so he's not
he does. He's going to be looking.
He's not won a title. Right? He's not won a title with anybody.
No, he hasn't. He went to Arizona 1 year. They did well. He looked like he was pretty. He looked like he was pretty.
Like he fit in there.
Yeah, look, he fit in there. Look, like he was pretty involved in what they were doing.
Yeah,
like he was a big part of it.
I thought.
But they didn't.
I would do 1 year 7. I would do 1 year $7 million for him.
Yeah, I think that's something he'd be looking for. I know it's not going to be under 5. It's going to be, he's got that name and he just tweeted too. I love to see young players like at the Malik Jackson get their payday. Well deserved, my brother. I don't. He's going to be looking for money. I mean, like the first tweet he put out is about Malik Jackson, who we just spoke about. this guy's looking to get paid. So his agent and him are going to be working to get their best deal.
Yeah.
How's your salary cap? I think you guys have not a great cap, but not bad either, right? I'm not really.
We're about 28 million under right now. Probably maybe 25 million under. So we're in pretty good shape.
That's good. Yeah. What are you guys going to do with Norman? Any idea? Is that going to be a
franchise him?
That's after taking into account. That's after taking into account he's franchised. So
14 million for him.
Yeah. So we're in good shape, but we've got some players in the coming years that we're going to have to take care of, like Kawan Short, who's going to get that type of money that Malik Jackson just got.
Yes.
So we're not going to go out and just spend money for spending money, but I like the idea of a 1 year between $5 and $7 million type deal. If he doesn't work out, we'll get that cap space back the following year. It's not a long-term commitment, so I think that'd be pretty good.
Frankie, they said that Chris Ivory took more than $6 million per year from the Jags.
Really?
Yeah, over $6 million a year.
Ooh. Why would the Jags do that? Their rookie running back is a beast.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, what the?
I think they knew that they were gonna have to run him into the ground.
Maybe just a tandem.
Still, man.
Right.
$6 million
It's just
for a backup running back.
That's a lot of money. You know what? He played well for the Jets.
But you know what, Professor, you said it before we went on the air. I think it was very, very prophetic when we were talking about Mario Williams getting a 7.5 million?
17.
Yeah. So Mario Williams gets that. We get Charles Johnson for $3 million. That's the difference between our franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Your owner's great, man. I love your owner. He's big on the team. He's got a good energy. He's old now, but he's a good owner.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville is just gonna overpay for guys. I'm looking at it right now. They have $81 million in cap space.
Yes.
They don't care. I'm surprised guys are signing there. I think the signing's not that bad. Believe it or not, Ivory led the AFC in rushing last year.
Yeah.
Put that in perspective.
Listen to this. I just found this stat. It said Chris Ivory recorded the NFL's fifth best elusive rating in 2015. Two spots ahead of Jaguars teammate T.J. Yeldon.
Wow. What the hell is an elusive rating? Seriously. How do you calculate the elusive rating? Is it he's not on Twitter very much?
The explanation's a little elusive right now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Frankie, before we get out of here, we're about towards the end of the show. Tell us what the state of the Jets are. You guys, to me, you finished 10-6?
Yeah, and we missed the playoffs.
How is that? That was a pleasant surprise. I feel
I love your coach, man. Bowles is awesome.
You do? Yeah, he's pretty good. I think that the jury's still out on him, but I like him. I think he's doing the right thing. So.
How surprised were you at 10-6? I thought that was a little. I thought you guys are maybe an 8-7 team.
Yeah, or
8-9. Yeah, 8-7.
I just didn't think we were going to go 10-6. It was like, no, I'm with you. I thought we were going to be around 500, not 10-6. So. When the team, came out and sort of, you saw when the offense got a little burst, of life with Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, even Ivory in the beginning of the season, like you were saying, Anthony, he came out and he had some big games. You're like, wow, we could do something. And we finally have a quarterback that looks like he's going to take some shots. And Fitzpatrick was the key to last year because guy like him, he's going to throw the ball into tight windows. He's not going to care. Will those balls get tipped and get intercepted, or will we make plays on them and convert?
You know what every Panther fan wants to know is what is it going to take for the Jets to kick the Patriots' ass?
Oh my God, please!
That's what we want to know, man. We want to do anything we can do to help you to take out the freaking Patriots.
I have an idea. Why don't you let us? We'll do a trade. We'll trade you. I have a trade on the table. We'll trade you Eric Decker. You guys need a receiver, right? So we'll trade you
For
Eric Decker.
Cam Newton.
We'll trade Eric Decker and Wilkerson. You guys want to be tackle? Forget about paying Kawan short on these guys, and give us Cam Newton, man. That's a deal. Come on, you got Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson.
No way.
Derek
No
Anderson
way.
was a Pro Bowler 1 year or something. Come on.
And we just re-signed Joe Webb.
Joe Webb, man, he could do it all. He could run, catch, pass.
Yeah, we'll send you Joe Webb for Muhammad Wilkerson. How about that?
No, I don't think. I'm a little concerned. Muhammad Wilkerson's had some issues though. Like he's kind of a personality. I mean, he got caught speeding, like smoking weed with a gun in his car with a baby or something.
No,
like
that
crazy.
was Sheldon.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, I'm getting him
Muhammad
confused.
Wilkerson. He's yeah. I mean, the Jets are the only team that literally draft the exact same player. Like, and the Jets right now are talking
1, 2, 3.
They want to
Like
sign
all of them.
You know what the Jets are talking to right now? Nick Fairley. Like, tell me a guy who's like exactly what like Sheldon Richardson is.
Wow.
I don't know, man. They're just literally they're just running in circles, kind of thing. But
You got to get that quarterback.
We gotta get the quarterback. I want to see what Fitzpatrick. I want to see what he gets paid.
I heard RG3 is not under consideration for the Jets. I would have thought that would be somebody you bring in on the cheap, give him a shot.
Yeah, you know what, man? I think the Jets are gonna lay the money out for Fitzpatrick. I just think that's what's gonna happen. We've been dilly-dallying with quarterbacks since Pennington, dude. Like, it's just at this point, I think they found their guy. He broke the franchise record.
That's the difference in the franchise. That's the difference between the Jets and the Patriots.
He broke the franchise record in touchdowns.
Passing touchdowns, yeah, threw for 31.
Is old boy at receiver that good?
Dude, Brandon Marshall, man,
is he that good?
Is unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. I'm telling you right now, he was all in last year, had his head on straight, he was motivated, worked out, got the team together. You should have saw him in press conference. It sounded like a Ray Lewis incarnation or something, man. That guy was on one last year. He was awesome. Like, literally, like, I've never seen a receiver that when you throw the ball, he attacks the ball. Like, it's not like he's waiting for the ball to come to him.
That's Joey. That's Joey.
Yeah.
That's
Joey has always said that Joe Riolano. That freaking part. No, Joey. Well, Joey did play receiver in college,
really?
But he has always said that when, or at least he usually says it's in the reverse about guys, is that those guys have the big size, they have the big speed, this and that, but they don't go up and attack the ball.
Right,
like you go up and you're the only guy that's going to come down with it every time. You go after the ball rather than letting it come to you. And that's kind of like, it's like the anti-Stephen Hill.
Exactly.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, man, that was like that. He taught me about what you're talking about. I mean, I hadn't realized how important that was and how great doing that makes you a great receiver until I saw Brandon Marshall do it all year. And, the Jets were used to bad wide receiver play. So just seeing that was like, wow, this is how it's done. And the numbers.
He's old. He's a little long in the tooth, too, ain't he?
Yeah, man. I don't know how many years he's got left. I don't know if he's going to be able to. That's another thing. The Jets season comes down to, is Marshall able to put together a healthy 16 games, 15 games like he did this year?
I was worried about him this year when he came over. He came from the Bears, right?
Yeah.
So when he came over, I was worried. I thought, man, he's a little long in the tooth. I mean, great player, but he's been in the league for a minute.
Been in the league for a while. Dude, if you look at his numbers, if you look at Brandon Marshall's stats,
he kills it. They're insane.
I think he's one of like, Joe, you probably know this. He's one of, I think, 7 receivers all time to have consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. I think he's had like 7 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons or something as a receiver, or 8.
Yeah.
something like that.
ridiculous.
And on 3 different teams.
Right, he played for
He
the
did
Dolphins.
it with the Broncos, the Dolphins, and the Bears, and now the Jets.
Right.
Yeah. 7
That's
consecutive
insane.
yards, 1,000-yard season. And then last year, he almost broke his single-season record of personal. He had 1,502 yards last season. His best was when he was Bear, where he had 1,508. And he had 14 touchdowns on the Jets. That was a season high for him. So he's
an incredible talent. As long as he has his head on straight.
Well, he's bipolar, and it took him a while to get diagnosed, and he got stabbed by his girlfriend in the process when he was in Miami, and somehow a lot of people have believed in him. But look, you can watch him on television; he's fantastic. Mm-hmm. He's been going, and I mean, he is a fantastic television broadcaster. He's doing that in the middle of his best season. One of his best seasons, and he's doing it on the regular. You know what? I don't think we have to, unless barring something unforeseen, is he does have his head on straight. It's just that simple. Like Frankie was saying when he came on, is that he was tuned in. So that's great. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We got one last thing to do with our Ice Up picks of the week. So Frankie, if you and you've been here before. We ice somebody up each and every week. Everybody is fair game. We are going to go out and look. I've iced up an 8-year-old in Oklahoma before. It's on, right? Mel, did you bring an ice up pick?
I did. I did. And I think everybody in Panther Nation is going to support this. At one time, we really loved this guy, and there's always.
Oh, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, There's a guy who has been the franchise leading rusher who just can't keep his mouth shut. And he's a guy that used to drive me crazy. I had a love-hate relationship with him. He was from Tennessee, and anytime the Memphis Grizzlies came to town, he played his college ball in Memphis. He would go out and he would just trash the Charlotte Hornets and be a big Memphis Grizzly fan. And I always thought that was just kind of Bush League. Support your freaking hometown team and don't antagonize your fan base. But here we are 10 years later. Fast forward everything in D'Angelo Williams' career. 10 years later, you're telling me that D'Angelo Williams is at a point in his career where he has to be reprimanded by his coach for his Twitter behavior? Really? So D'Angelo Williams goes out and makes some smart aleck comments about the GOAT.
About how Peyton Manning has, and look, and I'm hard on people like this too, about how Peyton Manning, though, has stunk for 2 years. Let's just say this. Peyton Manning is 5-time MVP. A 5-time MVP. D'Angelo, no-time MVP. All right, keep going.
Not even of his own team.
Time. He hasn't been a leading rusher, anything like that. 5-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl winner, and even if he did suck this past year, give me sucking and winning a Super Bowl any year.
Yeah.
So for Mr. Backup running back, who has his own coach come out and say, D. Will, quit while you're behind. Hashtag really.
Yeah.
Hashtag really. Hashtag really from Coach Mike Tomlin, who's one of my favorite coaches. I mean, when you are a 10-year vet and you have to be told by your coach to quit while you're behind because you're talking just stupid trash and saying somebody stunk like doo-doo and putting an emoji with a little face mask up there, talking about the GOAT, in my opinion, the greatest of all time.
Talk about he couldn't play dead in a Western.
Right.
Yeah, he could play dead in a Western.
Yeah, D'Angelo Williams. I've been waiting to tell you this for a long time. Listen to me straight. Ice up, son.
Yeah, it looks like Twitter is following you on that. Missy says, I'm so over D-Will. Thank you for choosing him as an ice up pick. We also got D-Will has sunk to the lowest of Sour Grapes ex-Panthers. You know what? Every time, this is what bothers me about D-Will, is every year when the draft comes up, he gets on Twitter every damn year, at least for the last 3 years, and talks shit about how the Patriots drafted Lawrence Maloney ahead of him. And ha to you. I mean, God, get over it. I mean, all right, Joey, did you bring your ice up pick?
Yeah, my ice pick this week is pretty simple. I'm giving that to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was involved in a lawsuit against Gawker because his best friend, who is a radio personality called Bubba the Love Sponge, Bubba the Love Sponge is married, and Bubba's wife, they have an open relationship. Bubba's wife wanted to sleep with Hulk Hogan, and so Bubba approached him about this, and Hogan rightfully was suspicious as to why, that both of them would be approaching him to have sex with this guy's wife.
What?
So he asked him straight up, he said, Are you filming this? And of course, Bubba the Love Sponge says, no, I'm not filming it. And so, anyway, this lady do the deed. It gets filmed. The film gets leaked, and Hogan's all emotional and saying he's ashamed, he's embarrassed, he's been crushed emotionally, and he wants $100 million from Gawker because they're the one that released it.
He needs to get Aaron Andrews as attorney.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So this is just people who are out of the spotlight, wanting attention and wanting to get their 15 minutes of fame again. So I just say to Hulk Hogan, keep with wrestling. Know where your bread's buttered, and I mean that literally. Ice up, son.
Nice. Well played, Joey. Frankie, do you have an ice up pick this week?
I actually do, and I'm gonna go right into politics on everyone.
Here we go.
Do it.
I'm gonna ice up someone in politics that all right, so I'm a registered Democrat, right? So you think I would like this person and support them, but I am not a fan of her. Now you obviously know who I'm talking about. She's very annoying, very loud, and I don't want to hear her anymore. So she's got to ice up, son, to Hillary Clinton. I'm not feeling the vibes. I'm not really into the whole Hillary thing, and I hope that we can bring someone on board to run this beautiful country that doesn't have all this stuff going on outside of just being a great president. So Hillary, ice up, son. I'm big in politics. I love politics outside of sports.
Oh, I know.
Bring it, buddy. Bring it. We just had an article posted out there for all of you good folks listening. Go read who the professor wants for president, and his initials are DG.
Yeah, vote Dave Gettleman. Write in Dave Gettleman for president. I've outlined his stance on the economy, how he can balance the budget, how he's opened doors with immigration, but firm on the people that are fleecing the system, and he will ship a guy out of there that's problematic, like a D'Angelo Williams, in a heartbeat. But David Gettleman for president. Here's my ice up pick of the week. It was going to go to Mel today as he's bragging about all the showings and crap his house has, and he lives in Las Vegas, and there's a record number of homes not on the market. So Mel puts his house on the market, gets 10 showings in a damn day. And my house is in great shape, beautiful
and an offer, and a full price offer.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up, or you're going to get the ice up. Or you're going to get an ice up. My ice up pick of the week goes to lumber liquidators, or as my buddy calls them, lumber diculators. And this is what happens is I just bought a new home. We're working on this house, and we're putting in all these floors, like 900 square feet of hardwood floors. I got a splinter in my hand today that was at least a half-inch long. I pulled it out like with a damn pair of pliers. We're kicking ass. It looks like a damn Cribs, like MTV Cribs. But here's the deal. I went and bought all this floor. I go to Lumberdiculators, and then I get all this floor. I get this bamboo floor, and it's beautiful and all of this, and it's nailed down floor, and it's going to last for 1 billion years. A hurricane come through all this. So the guy says, you got to buy, he says, when you use this, he said, whoever's helping you put in these floors, because I got a guy that's a contractor that helped me get started and stuff, he said, make sure that you use an 18-gauge nail in the nail gun. I said, all right, we can do that. So come to find out, nobody owns a damn nail gun that that shoots an 18-gauge nail. Is that most people, even flooring people, have a nail gun that shoots a 14 or it's either like a 14 and a 16 gauge, but nobody shoots this stupid 18 gauge. So I go to Lowe's, I go to all these places, and nobody shoots all of this. I end up back at Lumberdiculators and have to buy a $300 nail gun.
What?
Wow.
Just to install these floors, which I still save money because we're doing it ourselves.
You'll use for how long?
For a week.
All right.
But
for a week.
But what I'm saying is this, brother. When you say like make sure you know that you have this, I think you should express that nobody has this.
Because the only way you can get it is here.
Yeah.
Right,
It's not like, oh, you're going to walk away and just make sure your buddy's got this gun because this is the only one you could use. No, you have to tell somebody that this gun is like the damn gun out of a museum or something. And what?
It's the gun that killed JFK.
So to you, lumber liquidators, I say ISO.
Nice.
This is the Thievery Podcast. Joey, you got something to say?
I was just going to say on a side note, Mike Ditka is out on ESPN Sunday Countdown. Matt Hasselbeck is in.
Oh, interesting. When did you hear that?
I just saw it.
Oh.
Wow. Wow, that's big news.
Matt Hasselbeck, is that the...
Matt Hasselbeck.
Is he the one that played last year or the brother?
Yeah, he backed up, what's his name?
Okay.
Love.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I like Mike Ditka. I hate all those dudes. I hate Fox more than anybody, though. But, all right, Frankie, we're getting out of here. Tell them how they can find you and what I guess they need to go and download U Stadium if they haven't.
That's right.
Yeah, so on Twitter, just shoot me a follow. Anyone interested? It's at Frankie FRANKIE Vit VITT, and yeah, I'll if you're interested in U Stadium, just shout out to give me a shout out. I'll send you a link to it. But it's
the feed thing is already sparking some interest. We had some people say, so that sounds like a fan feed could be in the making, in addition to the U Stadium app. Frankie, thanks so much for coming on the show, brother.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, Frankie.
Yeah, man, it's great to meet you, man.
Great to meet you too, brother. It's been fun, and you guys show rocks. I love talking about the Panthers, and keep pounding, baby, huh? Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Joey, I just wanted to say that because JETS, Jets is whack. Keep pounding so much better.
Hey, one thing we might want to do, Frankie, man, is on draft night, we have a big C3 draft party. Have you come in and talk about whoever the Jets take.
Dude, I love that. Let me know. Anthony, reach out to me. You know I'm good for it if I'm around. So yeah,
word up. Thanks so much, man. All right, Mel. Tell them where they can find you.
All right, man. Hey, you can follow me anytime at Panthers Drafter on Twitter. Going to talk anything with you, especially Panthers football. I'm also the analyst out there at drafttech.com. New mock draft coming out every time. Got a new mock draft coming out this week. Might be a little bit cornerback friendly draft this week, so go check it out. But hey, new articles going out all the time. I got 2 new articles that I posted in the last 3 days. Go check it out at carolinacatchronicles.com and be a part of the action. You listening, you go to carolinacatchronicles.com. You too can post your voice. There's a way to post your articles and become a part of the action because it's not just me, Tony, and the freaking Puerto Rican. It's all of us. Let your voice be heard. That's what we're all about. Let's have fun.
Word up, Joe Riolano, a.k.a. freaking Puerto Rican back. So glad to see you, brother. You look great.
Yeah, it was a blast. I'm so glad that I'm able to come back. It was a great show tonight, guys. I look forward to being able to do this on the regular from now on. You can find me on Twitter at Joe Milano, the freaking Puerto Rican. And, Melo's absolutely right, guys. Go to the site, check it out. If you want to throw a few words down, do it. That's what we make ourselves available to you so that you can have your voice heard.
Word up. This is the C3 Podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. I am one of your hosts, along with my brothers, and my name is Tony Dunn, a.k.a. The Professor. You can check us out on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. because we'll be here talking about those Panthers. They be ballin'. Thanks for Max Arsenal for the music tonight, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Let's do it.